Back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco along with Mike Favetta.
The Republican convention is in full swing in Milwaukee, and 12 New Jersey delegates are there to cast their votes and help choose the Republican nominee. Take a look.
Madam Secretary, we should all be thankful right now that we are able to cast our votes for President Donald J. Trump after what took place on Saturday. So the state of New Jersey is extremely proud to cast all of its delegate votes for the 45th and soon to be 47th President of these United States, President Donald J. Trump.
That was Senator Mike Testa announcing New Jersey's delegate votes for former President Donald Trump. Senator Testa now joins us on the phone from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning. How are you? It's great to be on your show.
We're so happy you could join us. Thank you again. What was the feeling to be able to speak on the convention floor?
It was absolutely phenomenal. It was certainly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, one that'll be in my history book for sure. I was at the convention in 2016. The feeling was really electric there, but I have to tell you, I think that the energy in the room, the overall feeling, and of course the fact that I was able to be so honored to deliver those delegate votes and give that speech from the RNC floor makes this one just extra special.
Now, Senator, for those who don't follow politics closely, what is the job of a delegate?
Well, the job of the delegate, I actually had a little bit more of a job, platform committee, so I actually had to fly out here a week prior to work on the platform prior to the RNC, obviously the main convention. A delegate is supposed to be there if there are any issues that need to be debated. I can tell you in 2016, it wasn't necessarily as smooth as this convention is, and I'm really happy to say that this convention is showing a united party. But delegates work on platform committee, rules committee, and obviously if there are more than one state typically that usually has a problem with either the platform or the rules, there's a very healthy debate there. It's a very, very democratic process, and that is the job of the delegate. Is not just some title. At least it's not supposed to be just some title that someone wears and gets to come to the convention and sit in a nice seat.
You know what? And that's so interesting because we see these speeches on TV, we get the sound bites, but what else goes on during the week that, perhaps the average voter doesn't get to see?
Well, I think the meat and potatoes of the convention really happens, in the week prior when you're working on a platform committee. And this was my first time ever working on one of the committees for the convention. That's where I think the real work is put in. Obviously, when I was on the platform committee last week, we didn't even know who our vice president candidate was until a few days ago. And we got to hear our next vice president speak last night. He delivered a wonderful speech and was introduced by his wife. But again, I think for most people watching and understanding, there's so much that goes into having a massive convention of all 50 states and our territories. I mean, on the platform committee, I made friends with a gentleman from Saipan, which is the Northern Mariana Islands. I mean, it's really interesting, the connections that can be made via but also the hard work that goes into making this convention look like it runs so smoothly.
So, Senator, what is the mood there, and how are people you've spoken to feeling about the election?
I think people are really excited for a change. There's even a number of individuals that I've been focused on that have said, I was a Democrat for so many years. I don't know what happened to the Democrat Party. They've taken such a radical left turn. And President Trump's policies, even though he was harshly criticized for them, have all been vindicated. We need a much safer United States. Obviously, the border is the number one issue, I think, on everyone's minds, and how so many states have become border states. The economy is certainly on everyone's mind. I'm the chairman of the manufacturing caucus, so I've taken a little bit of time, walking around both Madison and Milwaukee, because we're kind of positioned pretty far away as the New Jersey delegation, but particularly Milwaukee and how they embrace their manufacturing culture and how their city was built. And that's a major part of the platform, to make sure things are made right here in the United States of America. And people are just really excited and proud to be American again. I think the last time I really felt like this, I was a very young child, and it was with President Ronald Reagan. I think one of the things, in the Make America Great Again platform, it's to make America one again. We need to all unite as Americans and stop this divisiveness, especially after what we saw last Saturday with someone trying to assassinate the 45th and soon to be 47th president of these United States.
Senator, New Jersey is a notoriously blue state, at least on the federal level. But there has been some recent polling showing President Trump leading President Biden. What is your thought on a Trump win here in New Jersey?
I think it's absolutely possible. I was President Trump's co-chairman along with Senator Joe Panaccio in 2020. I had more than one meeting at the RNC in Washington, D.C. at that time, and modeling showed that New Jersey was in fact in play prior to COVID. And I think absolutely in 2024, President Donald J. Trump can win New Jersey. People know him in New Jersey. He has invested heavily in his companies here in New Jersey. He has invested heavily in his golf courses here in the state of New Jersey. He's a known commodity. And I think that people are sick and tired of the Biden policies absolutely being utter disgraceful failures time and again. And yet on the television, we're told how great they're working. People have seen through the hypocrisy. They have seen through the utter lies.
Senator, one more question before we let you go. What kind of message do you think the convention is sending New Jersey voters?
I think it's sending the message that it is okay. In fact, if you haven't traditionally been a fan of President Donald J. Trump, that it's okay to vote for him. I loved the speech given by Nikki Haley the other night. It was a fantastic speech. She actually stated what we've all known all along, that it's okay to disagree at times, but you have to look at this binary choice. It's either President Biden or President Trump. I think it really harkens back to Ronald Reagan's speech so many years ago of a time for choosing. We are at that important precipice, not only in the state of New Jersey, but in the entire United States of America. We are at a specific time where we have to choose whether we are going to preserve the republic, preserve the United States that we all know and love, that we grew up in, or we're going to go with a very radical left turn where we have open borders, fentanyl pouring across our borders, poisoning and killing our children, and whether we're going to respect police, whether we're going to build things here in the United States of America. I think it is absolutely a clear choice for President Donald J. Trump and all of the policies that he had in 2016 to 2020 that President Biden has done everything in his power to try to destroy over these past 4 years.
All right, Senator Mike Testa, thank you so much for your time today from the Republican National Convention out there in Milwaukee. We wish you to enjoy the rest of the convention and safe home. And thank you again for your time today.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to come back to the great state, the Garden State, the state of New Jersey tomorrow. But in the meantime, I'm going to watch President Donald J. Trump accept his nomination this evening, and I'm very excited.
All right, Senator, thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
All right, guys, that does it for us today on the New Jersey Morning Show. Stay tuned. There's more news and weather after this.